Dawson here, CEO of 1819 News. I'm also the host of 1819 News, the podcast, and we'd love for you to join us by listening to our weekly show on all the top podcast apps, both in audio and video format. At 1819 News, the podcast, we are in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama. Every week, we're having important conversations with guests from across this great state, all with the goal of equipping Alabamians to be in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama with us. New episodes are released weekly. I hope you'll join us.
A boater involved in a crash on the Alabama River this past March has now been charged with reckless murder and first-degree assault. 30-year-old William Ackerman of Wetumpka was with two other men in a boat on the Alabama River. The three men had just been to a local restaurant where they had been seen drinking alcohol. The crash that followed involved two boats throwing people into the water. Jonathan Behringer was in the boat with Ackerman, and he was also thrown into the water and injured. This past Tuesday, Behringer succumbed to his injuries and died, and the reckless murder charges were then issued against Ackerman. I'm Andrea Tyson.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Y'all hear about all those politicians making money in the stock market?
Yeah, that Nancy Pelosi's making a killing.
Yeah, she is, and so is Coach.
Tommy Tuberville?
Yeah, he and Pelosi are making millions. Turns out old Senator Tuberville's trading ag futures while he's on the ag committee.
Wow, Tommy Tuberville's making a killing in the stock market.
Yep, just like Nancy Pelosi.
It's all just a big game to Coach Tuberville.
In 2024, Tommy Tuberville made millions trading stocks, just in 1 year.
Wonder what else there is.
So Tommy Tuberville is making millions in the stock market, all in the industries he regulates.
Tommy Tuberville's great at making millions for himself.
Now I want to know.
Just how much money did Tommy Tuberville and Nancy Pelosi make for themselves in the stock market?
Why don't we ask him? Let's call Tommy Tuberville. Ask him how much money he made himself in the stock market.
And tell him, for us, it's not a game.
This advertisement is paid for by the Alabama Leadership Fund.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
You're listening
to Joey Clark.
Warm sound, clear sound, right here with Joey Clark. It's
Joey Clark.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. What a day. What a day. Thank God for another beautiful day. And I pray to God it'll be a good show. And Montgomery needs a new mayor. But Trump coming out and saying, a great and brilliant day for the world. Trump announces Iran agrees to give up their nuclear ambitions. In fact, Trump was having a heyday on Truth Social and being posted all over social media. A great and brilliant day for the world, says the president. He also goes on to destroy Tucker Carlson and a lot of folks. Also hits the failing New York Times, fake news, CNN, and others just don't know what to do. They're desperately looking for a reason to criticize President Donald J. Trump on the Iran situation, but just can't find it. Why don't they just say, at the right time, job well done, Mr. President, and start to gain back their credibility? Trump also saying Iran has agreed to never close the Strait of Hormuz again. It will no longer be used as a weapon against the world. Saying Iran, with the help of the U.S.A., has or is removing all sea mines. Trump gives a thank you to Saudi Arabia, U.A.E., and Qatar for their great bravery and help. Trump also saying this because I saw a clip of the Prime Minister of the U.K., Keir Starmer, along with Emmanuel Macron, saying that they're now going to send a naval mission to help with security in the Strait of Hormuz. And here's what Trump put out verbatim. Now that the Hormuz Strait situation is over, I received a call from NATO asking if we would need some help. I told them to stay away unless they just want to load up their ships with oil. They were useless when needed, a paper tiger. Trump also saying the U.S.A. will get all nuclear dust created by our great B-2 bombers. No money will exchange hands in any way, shape, or form. This deal is in no way subject to Lebanon. And here's the other news of the day. Either, but the U.S. will separately work with Lebanon and deal with Hezbollah, he spelled it on purpose, I believe, situation in an appropriate manner. Israel will not be bombing Lebanon any longer. They are prohibited in all caps, from doing so by the U.S.A. Enough is enough. Thank you, President DJT. Throwing that out to Israel. Trump in all caps, the Strait of Hormuz is completely open and ready for business and full passage, but the naval blockade will remain in full force in effect as it pertains to Iran only until such time as our transaction with Iran is 100% complete. This process should go very quickly, says the president, in that most of the points are already negotiated. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. And then, of course, Trump not only hitting the corporate media, as he should, he's also hitting the new commentariat that is big on the podcast circuit. Many of these people, I personally enjoy their shows. Not all of them, but I've seen stuff that I can appreciate over the years. But Trump came out and, he shared essentially this clip of his net favorable ratings are up 61% amongst Republicans, whilst Tucker Carlson's just hovering above water at +7 positive with Republicans. I still have a generally positive view of Tucker because, I don't know, I'm just not in the mood to condemn people. But Trump put this out like, why is this happening? It's easy. Tucker's a low IQ person, always easy to beat and highly overrated. So are Megyn Kelly, Candace, really dumb and mentally ill, and bankrupt Alex Jones, who is completely fried. There are others also. Then we have some that are very good, true MAGA all the way, and smart. I should do a list of good, bad, and somewhere in the middle. Wouldn't that be fascinating? Says the president. And of course, the president today is out in Nevada talking and touting about the tax, no tax on tips, that is. So what a big flurry of news this morning, coming out late this morning. And you're now seeing oil prices, last I checked, were tumble more than 10% as Iran declares Strait of Hormuz open. And this is, of course, easing supply fears in general. But the foreign minister of Iran declared the Strait of Hormuz completely open during the ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon, raising hopes of easing these disruptions in supply. U.S. crude oil futures for May delivery fell about 12% to $83 per barrel. So it looks like things are starting to come together, and I would just want to say, without all the folks who got involved in all the political condemnations, keep praying for peace. Pray that this holds. Pray that you can actually see a true development in this world for the good, instead of just presuming over and over again that, of course, Israel will always get their wars and they'll always be fighting, and in fact, they control the United States. Perhaps you're wrong about that. And perhaps you're not completely wrong. But perhaps with this leadership, you're wrong about that. You got a sliver of the truth, but you didn't get the whole picture. Perhaps the Gulf Arabs actually want to modernize and continue that program they've already started. Perhaps Iran is realizing, we're going to have to cry uncle. And perhaps there is a method to the madness of the President of the United States, because often it can seem like madness. A lot of folks don't buy Trump when he said all the way back, almost a decade ago.
There are those that think I'm a very stable genius.
A lot of people thought he was nuts. He's not a stable genius. He's just off his rocker. And of course, it's seesawed. He's made other people seem off their rocker, where Trump, would you really want to trust him with the nuclear codes? Or actually, Trump just loves dictators and just loves these folks. So, which is it? Is he stupid or is he evil? The classic thing always thrown out against Republicans. But think about the national security strategy of the United States of America that was put out, I believe earlier this year, under this administration. We were saying at the time, the neocon era is over. Sadly, for many libertarians out there, we didn't go full Ron Paul, but we went a different way, essentially resetting the global order. And it's not all, the cake is still baking. It's not all out of the oven just yet. But resetting the global order for the favor of the United States and those that wish to be our allies. In particular, with a focus on China. But also understanding that it isn't a bipolar world. It is a multipolar world with all sorts of different interests involved. And so what we're going to do is play this map to the advantage of the United States. What do you think Venezuela is about? I believe Scott Beeson was talking about this earlier. What do you think the Panama Canal is about? What do you think Greenland was about? You remember that whole episode? He's crazy. He's insane. Well, now he just got base rights all over the Arctic Circle. He's crazy. He's insane. Why is this thing with the Panama Canal? Why? Oh, Venezuela, we're going to get us into another war. Well, they ended it in a week. And what do you think the Houthis are all about? With the Suez Canal, what do you think the Strait of Hormuz in Iran is all about? So it allows the United States, if we get peace throughout these areas and you have the United States essentially claim on these areas, even if they're not truly sovereign territory, the United States dominates these areas, our own hemisphere, as well as beyond. It allows the United States to focus on East Asia, which President Obama was talking about almost 2 decades ago, the pivot to Asia. And yet we seem stuck in Europe. We seem stuck in the Middle East. Now again, this cake is still baking. It's not out of the oven just yet. But this idea that it was always just going to go to crap, that you can never hope for anything, well, that's absurd. You should always hope. You should always pray for peace. And even if it looks like war and madness, maybe have some hope in a eucatastrophe, as J.R.R. Tolkien might say. That it isn't just human endeavor and human effort that actually brings us through. If you have faith, by faith and through hope, and our basic charity. And sometimes love can be, yes, tough love, but you got to whoop somebody who is trying to destroy and to undermine justice and order in the world. But if human beings, by faith, through hope and love, do their level best, it is God that gets us across the finish line. And it shouldn't be in this triumphalist thing that, Trump, remember in the first term he said, I'm the chosen one, hilarious, but it should be we pray that we are on his side and that we can see this through. So what a day. What a way to open up the day. We got a lot of other things to get to, including a rumor put out by Sean Spicer. Now, take that for what it is. But it's something I've been predicting for over a year now, that the Supreme Court is going to gut Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, not actually completely. And in fact, there's a lot of things from the civil rights era that are going to stay completely in place. Everybody kind of agrees on. But the use of Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act to essentially guarantee districts to the Democratic Party on the basis of a racial gerrymander, the rumor is they are going to gut that in this new ruling. And this is going to open up, especially in the South, but across the country, an advantage for Republicans in districting. Now, is districting for congressional seats and everything else always fair? No, it's partisan. It's politics. The party that wins the majority, the party that wins at the legislative level gets to draw the maps. And you might be able to come to some gentlemanly agreements based on different interests in your state and a certain give and take that might exist. But when Republican supermajorities dominate, say Alabama and Texas and Mississippi and all these other places, Louisiana in particular in this case, and when Democrat supermajorities dominate California and Massachusetts, you're going to end up with more Democrat seats in the blue states and more Republican seats in the red states. Let them all freely politically gerrymander instead of building into law based on voting rights Section 2 that the Democrats must always win and have proportional representation, a group entitlement based on race. But we'll see. That's the rumor. But Clarence Thomas has been wanting to do this forever. And seeing Thomas do those full remarks yesterday at the University of Texas Law School, really going against progressivism, defending the founding of this nation, I think, in a beautiful way, as well as the history and impact of what progressivism has done since it arose on the American political scene. Thomas speaking that boldly. Thomas, well, number one, he's living up to the own standard he set yesterday, that you have to speak up, you have to take it back. Don't just say it's always going to go to crap. Again, have hope. By faith, through hope and love, you can see wondrous things occur. And you can even have joy in your suffering, knowing what might be on the other side and the glory we all seek. But Thomas rarely spoke. It wasn't until Scalia died that he started speaking in oral arguments in front of the court. And now for him to give an hour-long speech, essentially, ripping a new one to progressivism and the left, to me it sounds like a swan song. To me it sounds like a farewell tune. And that's just the opening overture. His real song, his real final farewell will be in these rulings. So that's going on. We can get into the details of what Sean Spicer is actually throwing out there. Just a rumor, and I'll just leave it at speculation, but it very well could happen if you read in between the lines. And locally here, for Alabama-based folks, new poll is out on the United States Senate race to replace the soon-to-be vacated seat by Coach Tuberville. You have a new poll showing U.S. Representative Barry Moore from Enterprise, Alabama, expanding his lead over State Attorney General Steve Marshall and other candidates in the race to be Alabama's next U.S. Senator. Peak Insights called 500 likely Republican voters from April 11th through the 13th and found that 34% support Moore, 16% support Marshall, and 12% support Jared Hudson. 32% were still undecided. Barry Moore leads in every media market, Eric Iverson with Peak Insights said in a polling memo. Moore also leads among men and women and voters of all ages. That's a good sign for Barry Moore. Among Trump MAGA wing voters, who make up 67% of the primary electorate in Alabama, Barry Moore leads Marshall 42 to 14%. Wow. Moore also leads Marshall by double digits among both conservative and very conservative voters, who combined make up 88% of the vote. A poll by American Pulse Research and Polling conducted March 30th through April 1st, different polls showed Moore with a narrower 26 to 21% lead over Marshall. One thing that appears to be helping Moore pull ahead is, of course, President Trump's endorsement. Survey found that 56% of voters were aware of the endorsement and that among that group, most supported Moore over Marshall. In sum, Congressman Barry Moore is well positioned to finish first in the primary to win a runoff election and should be one be necessary. And that's the thing. Can Barry Moore get over that hump and actually get the 50% and just avoid a runoff altogether? I don't know, because I think he has two other candidates in this race that have their own strengths. But that number of undecided, the don't know number, is remarkable. So Barry at 34% in this particular poll by Peak Insights. Steve Marshall at 16%, Jared Hudson at 12%, Rodney Walker, who I enjoyed speaking to very much, at 2%, Seth Burton, who I don't know, at 1%, Dale Shelton DS Jr., there's no data, less than 0.5%, and someone else, just a general someone else, got 1%, and 32% say, I don't know. I'm not sure. And as I was saying earlier in the week, I think this is a effect of the new media world we live in. Where, how do you reach a lot of folks who are, all they like to do is watch shapely young women in leggings saw down tree trunks and turn them into like epoxy tables. That's what they like to do. How are you going to reach that person if they're just looking at woodworking all day? It's a great euphemism for something else. But they're just looking at woodworking all day. How do you reach that person? How do you reach the person that's just watching a young lady in Canada groom cats? And all they do is watch cat videos and cat shows. And the latest cat toy reveals. Like, how do you reach that person when they don't care about politics at all? And maybe the casual political viewer. How do you reach them if all they're doing is watching Barstool or ESPN? All they do is sports all day, every day. And I think there is an effect where we are watching the same screens. We're not listening to the same speakers or voices or microphones anymore. We all have our own siloed off algorithm that we get to curate or is curated for us if we're not mindful of it. And it's making the job of political consultants, actually making them earn their keep. Love you guys. Kinda. It's making their job much harder. So we shall see which way the cat finally jumps on this. But right now, Barry Moore, based on this latest poll, looking quite strong indeed. And this is just, kind of common sense given the Trump endorsement. And as Trump continues to pull off things that a lot of folks say, he never would be able to pull that off. You got to wonder, how much does that endorsement continue to be as good as gold going forward? But again, the big news is Trump came out with Iran also announcing the Strait of Hormuz is open. Trump says Iran has agreed to give up their nuclear ambitions as well as all the nuclear dust after it was destroyed or at least buried under rubble after Operation Midnight Hammer. Iran agrees to never close the strait again, according to Trump. Trump also tells Israel enough is enough. The U.S.A. will prohibit Israel from attacking Lebanon. Trump smacks NATO, saying, where were you when I needed the help? And also smacks the corporate media as well as, Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and the whole gang. Trump saying today, a great and brilliant day for the world. Perhaps it is. It feels that way. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hello, it's Clark.
Hey, Clark, how are you?
Yourself?
I'm great. I'm very good today.
Super. So, is Trump crazy or a genius? Let's see. You mentioned the Panama Canal. You mentioned the Suez Canal. Venezuela, they were aligned with, aligned and allied with China and Russia, right?
And Iran.
Yeah, well, Iran, they were also aligned and allied with China and Russia. We blackbagged Maduro. We vaporized Khomeini. Did China do anything about that? Anything?
No,
thing?
not really. There was rumors they
didn't.
sold some weapons or used. There was a satellite used that they sold to the Iranians
Okay.
last year, 2
So-
years ago.
You got to think that BRICS allies and people that would like to be allied with BRICS looked at that and said, China ain't going to have my back no more than they got their back. Now, here's the thing about the world. Energy drives economies. Economic security is national security. Energy security is national security. If we go to the transitive property we learned when we took geometry, somebody is going to be the world superpower. Somebody is. If not us, who would you rather be the world superpower? Who should we be second fiddle to? China? The WEF? Islam? I choose us. Now, here's the thing nobody's saying too much about. April the 13th. Pete Hegseth, the, Minister of Defense of Indonesia?
Or Secretary of War of the whole world, yeah, whatever.
No, we cut a deal with the Minister of Defense of Indonesia.
Yeah.
We get bases.
Yep.
We get unlimited access to their airspace.
And they controlled also into the Straits of Malacca, right? Which is another key
Strait
point.
of Malacca. Shakalaka, the Strait of Malacca.
Mm-hmm.
We have that now. There are 4 major choke points for oil on the planet. You know how can now? We do. Now, how much leverage does that give us when we need to negotiate with China? Ooh, I think a lot.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I think if I was China, I'd send a couple million Chinamen to Thailand right now. Say, y'all go down there just south of Myanmar and cut us a canal from the sea over to the Gulf of Thailand so we can get some oil over here if we have to. It's only 50 miles. They ought to be able to dig that canal pretty quick. They're in a jam. And, the brilliance of this right here, and say what you will, I think sometimes to be a master of illusion, you have to be a master of distraction. And sometimes it takes a genius to play the fool.
Sure.
And if people are all spun up about one thing while something else gets achieved, so much the better sometimes. And who was paying any attention to Pete Hegseth when that deal was cut?
Very few.
I don't think anybody.
I mean, because they're paying attention to his, jock persona, which is also funny.
Well, they were paying attention to Donald Trump's crazy.
Yep.
So, like I say, sometimes it takes a genius to play the fool. We are in the catbird seat. Is it all going to work out? I don't know. I guess we'll stick around and find out. But I like the way it's going right now.
Yeah, it's perhaps, as Trump says, a great and brilliant day for the world.
This is my idea. Here, we might be living in as important a time to the United States as 1770 to 1780 was.
Well, and it's fitting that we get to celebrate the 250th birthday. And I've been saying if this war gets wrapped up before July 4th, and wrapped up, it looks like, is very well what's happening. And Trump then refocuses on domestic issues while throwing this big birthday bash for months for America. It's going to be quite a sight to behold. But they'll come up with some other crap to complain about. But I appreciate the call, Clark. I got to run here. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services, and they're at Pest Pro Ashley, and that great team right there at Main Street in Millbrook. They're ready to help you with any and all of your pest control needs. Of course, they have this great monthly subscription model that allows you to control costs throughout the year while getting great service from great local folks. So it could be you just want that basic service, particularly you're concerned about fire ants because you got kids and dogs and stuff. Or maybe you saw a cockroach too many, and I mean, one is too many, but you know what I'm talking about, and you need some help in that regard. Or it could be you want to make sure you have no termites, get an inspection done and lay down protection. Get rid of those mosquitoes so you can actually enjoy that backyard you spent so much money on, or enjoy the front porch again. They can help you across the board, including if a little like squirrel or raccoon or something, takes up home in your home, and you don't want that critter to do that. They have great wildlife control services as well. So you can always learn more about Pest Pro services at ppsriverregion.com or call them at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey Clark, that fellow on the radio, sent you.
You're listening to Joey Clark.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
"2026 marks 60 years that hope has had a home in Alabama. At the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, children who've lost everything through no fault of their own have found something priceless. A safe place to live, a loving Christian
55 today. The record is 90, not out of the question. So sunshine will dominate today, mostly clear, 61 tonight. Saturday, a good bit of sunshine, high in the upper 80s. I think we're dry through Saturday evening, but then a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms in the overnight hours Saturday night into Sunday morning as a cold front sweeps through our state. And behind the front, much cooler on Sunday with a high temperature only in the lower 70s. We'll be down to the 40s on Sunday night. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
To Joey Clark.
Joey Clark.
It's Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I don't want to get into this Sean Spicer rumor because, well, it's juicy. I'll take it as a rumor. But he's saying, I've been told by reliable sources that the decision is done and that the minority is slow walking the dissent so states do not have time to redistrict ahead of it. The Supreme Court is reportedly about to gut the pro-Democrat race-based VRA congressional districts, and the decision could drop imminently. But it's being slow-walked by the minority, who's slow-walking delivering their dissent. But Republicans could gain over a dozen House seats, depending on how much SCOTUS weakens Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, if they indeed do this. It's not final yet, but if and when it is, it's a jaw-dropping defeat for the left. Add on top of that, if this is Clarence Thomas, farewell. And perhaps even Justice Alito, too. Trump could have 2 more Supreme Court picks, which is going to drive the left even crazier. It makes the stakes for 2028, whether the presidency, the White House, the Senate, and the House of Representatives, even higher. So we shall see, but here are, in part, are some of Clarence Thomas's remarks from yesterday. I want to revisit this. He really takes on progressivism, its foundations, its history and impact, and this was at the University of Texas Law School in Austin. Clarence Thomas, the justice on the Supreme Court of the United States, says Stalin, Hitler, Mussolini, and Mao were all intertwined with the rise of progressivism, and all were opposed to the natural rights on which our Declaration of Independence is based. Many progressives expressed admiration for each of them shortly before their governments killed tens of millions of people. It comes as no surprise that the progressives embraced eugenics. It was only a small step for Wilson to resegregate the federal workforce, which he did. It was only another step for the government to launch sterilization programs on those deemed by the experts of the day to be unfit to reproduce. European thinkers have long criticized America for remaining trapped in a Lockean world, with its weakened, decentralized government and strong individual rights. They say our 18th century declaration has prevented us from progressing to higher forms of government. But we were fortunate not to trade our Lockean bonds for the supposedly enlightened world of Hegel and Marx and their followers. Fascism, which after all was National Socialism, triggered wars in Europe and Asia that killed tens of millions. Clarence Thomas continues saying the socialism of the Soviet Union and the People's Republic of China proceeded to kill tens of millions more of their own people. This is what happens when natural rights give way to higher good notions of history or progress, or as Thomas Sowell has written, the visions of the anointed. None of this, of course, was an improvement on the principles of the Declaration of Independence. Tocqueville's Democracy in America is largely about how America owed its superiority over Europe to its conscious decision to reject central planning and administrative rule, root, and branch. Progressivism, in other words, is retrogressive, says Clarence Thomas. And when he talks about, there's a lot to take from Alexis de Tocqueville, but one thing that's always stuck with me is, why did the United States work? Now, there was a weird prediction Tocqueville made that the United States may become Catholic one day, and I know that probably freaks out like Seventh-day Adventists or something, but the more interesting thing, and especially if we get back to our roots, is we need not have all these fears about another man's point of view in a lot of ways, because the brilliance of America, as Tocqueville saw it, is that it was local, voluntary, and infused by the spirit of religion. And I'm sorry, I don't think he was talking about whatever branch of Hinduism that might come to mind, or Sufi mystic Muslims that are peaceful individuals compared to a lot of their fellow brothers. I don't think that's what he had in mind. I think he was talking about Christianity. And instead of it being a top-down thing, but a bottom-up, where you care more about who your mayor is, maybe a little higher who your governor is, who your state rep is, who your state senator is. But even more importantly, who's running the church in your town? So it was local. It was infused by that spirit of religion, and it was voluntary. That when you have people that essentially choose to have robust communities infused by a faith and hope and love for one another and of God above, then much of what you end up doing is essentially the rubber stamp of government on things you probably would have done anyway that were common sense. And I would highly suggest, and I mean this humbly, I don't know, I'm not running for mayor or anything, as much as I think Montgomery does need a new mayor. But I would say that perhaps Montgomery shouldn't just be looking at what made other cities bigger. Because bigger, more activity, more people, all this sort of stuff, ain't necessarily better. Now, would I like to see Montgomery grow a bit? Sure. Would I like to see more to do around Montgomery? Yes. But how you go about doing that can matter a heck of a lot. You know, as we're coming up on the 250th birthday of the country, Clarence Thomas also brought this up. There are a lot of folks that don't take a proper earned pride, or to put it another way, a true charitable take on the legacy they have been given. Your legacy dies on the vine unless you show that past, that unseen world that you maybe heard about a little bit in school, or maybe you watched a History Channel thing while, also thinking, when's the Ancient Alien show coming on? Maybe you heard about something that happened 50 years ago. Who knows? Maybe you lived it. But if you don't have charity towards that legacy that you inherited, including being charitable to people who didn't necessarily share your exact values of the day, I'll put it this way, it's very easy for somebody today to get on their soapbox and talk about the evils of slavery, when slavery had bedeviled humans time immemorial, since they fell out of the garden. Since the snake whispered something to Eve. So maybe before you judge people on different sides of things, and it's not just that era, say the pre-Civil War, post-Civil War, there are a lot of sins, don't get me wrong. But before you throw the baby out with the bathwater, maybe have a little charity towards a legacy that is unique, that is different, and that has brought immense prosperity, opportunity, and yes, liberty to people all around the world, though imperfectly, because man will always fall short of God's perfect liberty. I think that's the biggest mistake of the progressives, the fascists, of the communists, is the hubris of saying we can do it all. It's not about saving souls. It's not about getting on your knees and praying. It's about setting the right price controls. It's about the visible world, muscle and putting brick on top of brick and stacking paper. And I would say, to whether it's even President Trump, though I suspect he knows this better than he sometimes puts on, But anybody that always talks about, as I say, practically in the politics and the midterms, it's the economy, stupid. Yeah, practically in terms of the politics, but it's not the economy at the end of the day. It's not this material stuff that matters. That's not what's driving the car. And so, you know, you might be an American who goes to church every Sunday, and yet you love your stuff. You love all the food, all the plenty that we have, and your drink, and maybe the drugs you're prescribed legally or not so legally. Maybe you love all the entertainment that distracts you, the great movies, and well, not as much these days, but great TV, or the podcast that you'll absorb like 30 hours after 10 listens so you can find out what the heck is going on underneath the pyramids. You can enjoy all that stuff and still believe in God and Jesus Christ. But you might be a little distracted. And I think America still to this day, despite our beautiful legacy, is a bit distracted. But it's one thing to be distracted by stuff, be distracted by the material world. It's another thing to completely dismiss the idea that there is this unseen world, that there is this invisible world that truly governs everything in our life, whether it be the water we drink, the bread we eat, the very fire inside of our hearts and our bellies, or the very breath that gives us voice and life. And when you forget that that is not in charge, and you pretend that you are the one in charge, you get the monstrosities and the atrocities that occurred in the 20th century. In many ways, it was predicted by fallen prophets and holy men that the 20th century would be the century of the devil himself. And my God, when you look back on it, even in God-blessed America, it certainly seems that way. Perhaps the 21st century can be a true turn where the devil is cast down where he needs to go back and return to. That we don't fall for his tricks anymore. We can still have the material plenty, the prosperity. But if we truly want to inherit a beautiful legacy, we have to start showing more charity to one another and to that legacy, and do so based in a hope that is sustained by faith. Anyway, I got to hit a break. More after this.
You're listening to Joey Clark.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Whether it's AC or heating or plumbing that you're needing, whatever you require, call Lou Quire.
With the seasons changing, your HVAC system is working overtime. Call Lou Quire today to schedule a tune-up with one of their expert technicians to keep your system running efficiently and reliably. Keep your home comfortable all season long. 24-hour emergency service available. License number 22154.
Call Lou Quire right now.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hey, this is Lyle from Margaret's Exquisite Jewelry, and I do my radio advertising on Blue Water. I'll tell you what, I use most of the stations, and I've been using it for so long. It's hard to tell with the money you spend on advertising if it does any good. When they come in and say, I heard you on the radio, I know it's Blue Water, and I love Blue Water.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. 272-9228. It's 334-272-9228. If you want to get in on the conversation. And this part of the program, could get a hold of them, is brought to you by Austin Branco and the great entire team there at Invista Advisors. And at Invista, they are ready to help you not only manage, say, that investment portfolio that you have, manage that stock trade that you're interested in growing and growing and growing, but of course they can create a long-term financial plan using a bunch of different types of experts. They have this interdisciplinary team that includes CPAs, business consultants, and investment advisors all working together to provide that comprehensive approach to financial planning. And it's never too early and it's never too late. Like, it could be you waited a while later in life, but still, you need to get your act together, at least get a plan in place. It could be you're just thinking about starting a family, just thinking about getting married, but you should probably go ahead and already start getting a financial plan in place, or you could be right in the middle of it, right in the thick of it. And of course, they can help you, especially if you have a lot of money tied up in a small business, or maybe you're trying to manage a nonprofit or a great local cause. Invista Advisors can help you across the board. So if you want to learn more, you can always go to InvistaAdvisors.com or just give them a call direct to start the conversation at 387-0094. That's 387-0094. And be sure to tell the great folks there that Joey Clark, that fellow on the radio, sent you. A little about next hour, a little after 1:20 or so, we'll have former Congressman Mo Brooks, who is running for office, I believe, for State House. Former U.S. Rep. Mo Brooks is running for House District 20 here in Alabama to unseat State Representative James Lomax, the top House recipient of SV&B money since 2025. And to remind you what SV&B is, well, a political action committee run by former Democratic congressional candidate turned Montgomery political power broker, Steve Raby. Funded over 100 candidates and other entities this election cycle with money from out-of-state gambling interest. Raby is the registered chairperson of North Alabama PAC, formed in 2017. He's also a lobbyist and political consultant with close ties to many of Alabama's elected elite. The Montgomery-based SV&B PAC has also received significant support from Sports Betting Alliance. So Raby has his one PAC. SV&B has also received, I guess it's another, say, funnel of outside support from the Sports Betting Alliance, close to $1.9 million. So you're starting to see a lot of money flow in. And of course, Steve Raby's going to deny any wrongdoing, and perhaps he has a point, but I believe former congressman who's running for House District 20, Mo Brooks, wants to talk about how all this money is flowing into our state elections and perhaps changing things, especially where margins can be thin in these primary elections. So I look forward to talking to Mo. Now, before I hit this top of the hour break, and I believe Eddie Bader should be joining us here before too long, I want to share another thing, keep going on the theme from that last segment, about the unseen world, and sometimes how it can just well up in you. It could be you've been a disciplined man of material science your whole life. Like, you're a modern man. And your job requires you to be a modern man of science. You're an astronaut. Well, Artemis II Commander Reed Wiseman, he shared something at this press conference, which there's gem after gem after gem. Go watch that return press conference from the entire crew of Artemis II. But the Commander Reed Wiseman, shared this. He said, when I got back on the ship, I'm not really a religious person, but there was just no other avenue for me to explain anything or to experience anything. So I asked for the chaplain on the Navy ship. This is right after, I guess, they splash down, they get on this naval vessel. And so I asked for the chaplain on the Navy ship to just come visit us for a minute. And when that man walked in, I've never met him before in my life, but I saw the cross on his collar. I just broke down in tears. Commander Reed Weissman says it's very hard to fully grasp what we just went through. And sometimes it does well up in you. And it shows, and it literally falls out of you in your eyes. But that's remarkable for a guy who's not really a religious guy. I would say a man who probably has a lot of religious qualities without knowing it. To all of a sudden feel that eternal spring, that taproot well up within him upon just seeing a cross on a chaplain's collar. After sailing and slingshotting around the moon, going further away from Earth than any other human being has ever flown, along with his 3 crew members. You could try to do the math of it, and of course they did do the math of it to get the mission successful. You can try to explain it in terms of beating records and the great stats that come out of this. But this guy, this commander, realized there's no other avenue for me to explain anything or to experience anything like I just have. I need a man of God. And when he saw the cross on the collar, he said, quote, "I just broke down in tears. It's very hard to fully grasp what we just went through." Amen, brother. Amen. 334-272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. I've got to hit this break. We'll be right back.
Joey Clark.
From the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
But that's already news. I'm John Scott. Oil prices dropped more than 10%, and U.S. stocks sharply higher after Iran said the Strait of Hormuz is fully open. The price for a barrel of Brent crude fell below $89 after Iran said it would allow commercial tankers to exit the Persian Gulf through the strait again and carry oil to customers worldwide. A fragile calm is settled over parts of Lebanon as a 10-day ceasefire brokered by the United States took hold between Israel and Hezbollah, prompting thousands of displaced families to begin the journey home, even as Israeli warnings against going back to parts of southern Lebanon clouded their return. President Trump nominating a former deputy surgeon general to be the next director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Erica Schwartz is the president's latest nominee. The Dow is up 908 points, the NASDAQ adding 300. This is SRN News.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe
Whole family smile. Pizza Perfect's amazing buffet includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Pizza Perfect is also available for pickup and delivery. Pizza Perfect on Coliseum Boulevard in Eastbrook.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
You're listening
to Joey Clark.
Warm sound, clear sound, right here with Joey Clark. It's
Joey Clark.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the second hour, folks. Flying solo for now on a Friday. Again, Congressman or former Congressman Bo Brooks coming up here in, 15 shopping minutes. Let's go to the phones and talk to TS. Hey, TS, how are you?
Hey, Joey, I'm quite well. And you?
Great.
This is a little off topic, maybe. Okay, I know you read it. Troy's opinion about our F-35s at Maxwell. I mean, not Maxwell, help me. Donnelly
Field,
yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I think it is a huge vulnerability, and they've been talking about it for years, or folks have been trying to warn the command here for years. And it's not just here, it's around the country. You know, Troy read that on Monday, and then we had on Colonel DeMaio, however you want to say it, Doug DeMaio, who was the one warning about this, kind of unceremoniously kicked out. By the way, he's been fully reinstated with back pay. And I think as you see the developments in Ukraine, as well as other war zones, but especially what the Ukrainians have been able to do with automated drone technology, this is a huge problem of vulnerability. And I sent it along to the hometown senator's office, and a few others picked up on this. So hopefully the United States military, at least those who can make these decisions, is paying attention.
Well, yeah, because we used to have I believe they were F-11s out there. But I think maybe they were in hangars. But this is crazy, in my opinion, for them just to be sitting out there in the open.
Yes. But, it's just not been like a priority right now. Like, they're fine. But I think Troy's calling it out well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's $20 billion.
Oh, yeah. A lot of money. Very valuable equipment and a lot of training and skill that goes into operating.
Yeah, it's not just that. It's just what is on the jet. Just their capability.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put this on my prayer list, too. Thanks for your time, Joey.
Thank you, TS. Let's go to Papa B. Hey, Papa B.
What's going on with you, sir?
Oh, I'm better than I deserve. Very much so, but ready for the weekend.
I'm going to try to get out on the water a little bit this weekend. Got to dust the old boat off, charge it up. But anyway, if it's a nice weekend sometime between now and Sunday, I might be seen floating around out there on the big mud puddle in Lake Jordan. That's what we have. We just have a big old mud puddle. It's not Lake Martin where you have the blue, clear waters like that. But it works. I'm going to make it work.
Sounds like a great weekend, though. I have to admit something to you. When, I'm trying to control my imagination and not let my mind go to certain places. But when you said dust off the old boat, I'm sitting here chuckling in my head like Beavis and Butthead. Dust off the old boat. Anyway.
Yeah, well, kind of like what old UNO Eddie are, right? Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Many days. Yes.
So, look, I know this is a lengthy kind of subject to broach right now. You got somebody coming on. But I just want to talk about this alien stuff real quick. I mean, y'all talked about it. I've been kind of querying over it myself, trying to figure out a little bit more about what's going on here. But in looking into it, you don't take more than about 2 or 3 steps into the whole subject before you start seeing occult type stuff. I don't know if you've really looked too deeply into it or not.
No, I think you're on to something correct. Real quick, I would say, before you keep going, it's very possible there are advanced technologies the U.S. government has. They just ain't telling folks, and they're sort of creating a smokescreen by creating all these other suggestions. But the idea of occult and demonic activity, as well as angelic activity, is, I think it's real, and the way we might describe it in technological terms could match up to some of what's been described. But I don't know. It also could just be pure propaganda, very sophisticated propaganda. Who knows?
Probably is definite propaganda, misinformation, disinformation mixed in there with it. I mean, if we found out that was kind of part of the brew, I would not be surprised. In fact, I probably expect it.
Yeah.
But the realities of it, when you see the Navy films and, the accounts and everything that are true testaments to what these people have seen and experienced, well, then you have to kind of start getting to another level of thinking here. And, I mean, you're talking to a guy here that has a Bible worldview, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Western, thinking a bit of Bible worldview. So I'm going to naturally default back to my worldview. But when you do, you start looking at and seeing, well, look at old Ezekiel. What was it that he was seeing? Wheel within a wheel. He was trying to describe things that he was seeing, but there was no real descriptive terminology for it, but he was doing the best he could.
Yes.
Others, but also in other writings of Vedas, it's not something new that we're seeing here, okay? Whatever it is, okay? So if it is, and you could rightly say it's supernatural, because supernatural just means that it exceeds the laws of nature, or is not obeying natural, the laws of nature as we understand them. But I start looking at these, and I started seeing, look, there's some occult things going on here, and the thing that's kind of welling up in my mind is this: are these stupid, psychopathic lunatics conjuring things up that they should not be?
It's very possible, and I guess it wouldn't be supernatural; it'd be preternatural. So, it's outside of nature, but it's not transcendent. It's not of God. So it'd be interesting to see. Well, maybe if an alien abducts you and you they start messing with your butt or something, you could quote the Annunciation. And bonus points if you do it in Latin, and if all of a sudden they disappeared, maybe you were messing with a demon. I don't know.
Well, let me just say this. Whatever it is, I don't know, but you can be assured of this. It does not exceed the dominion of the God of the Bible.
Oh, no.
It does not exceed the dominion of the God of the Bible. And I would say, in looking into it, there was a couple of verses that kind of poked out at me. One, in Revelation 12, I'm probably going to have to stop for a minute to read this, but hold on.
With the great portent or image of the woman crowned with 12 stars, and the dragon goes after her.
In verse 7, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was there a place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, and that old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, who was cast out onto the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Amen.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come our salvation, strength, and the kingdom. Later in that chapter, verse 12, I believe it says, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. It's a proclamation, from Revelation 12:12, because the devil has been cast down onto earth. Is that some of what we're seeing?
It very well could be. It could be, and say a prayer. Truly, folks, say a prayer against these sorts of things, and just for discernment, because there's also plenty of things that are natural we just don't understand. So it's a matter of trust your instinct, and to a large degree, don't get too sucked into the uncanny conspiracies or the abnormal too much. But but also stay aware of it. I think there's some folks that it becomes a fetish where they just like the weird and the wacky. And
there's some people that use it they want to want it to be alien so badly, because that would verify. That would vindicate their worldview that there is no God, that God of the Bible does not exist.
I think that would be
that
silly.
Is just not the case.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wanted to maybe discuss the list a little bit more with you later on. But, I know you got a guest coming on, so I'll be listening. All right, bud.
Appreciate you, Papa B. Again, 272-9228, but hold your horses before you call me up, because we have a former congressman running for House District 20, Mo Brooks, should be joining the show here by the phone. And he's going to want to talk about all this gaming money, which perhaps illegally being funneled into the Alabama statewide elections, or just local state, like House and state Senate elections. So I look forward to talking to Mo Brooks here in just a moment. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And they're at Montgomery Men's Health. They're ready to help you fellas out. If you just don't feel like a man anymore, like you feel down and out, worn out in general, and you lack confidence across the board, including not just at work, like a job you've been doing for years, and now you're second guessing yourself right and left, but you're also lacking confidence in things like, the bedroom. Well, perhaps you need to get by Montgomery Men's Health, powered by Men's Pro. And what I personally like about them, they've been doing this for years. In fact, I've been a client for years, and I'm going to stop by there today. And I feel a world of difference from the issues I was having, more had to do with low T. One of these days, I'll talk about my past sins and what maybe have caused that. But it's not just low testosterone. It could be ED, maybe you're having trouble with weight loss, or perhaps you want to get in on the peptide game with NAD Plus and Samorelin and others. Just get by Montgomery Men's Health, make an appointment with them, and the results speak for themselves. Over 92% of men respond to treatment. In fact, some guys start feeling better the very same day, and most guys wish they had come in sooner. Right now, your lab and panel and blood work and consultation is just $99. So call them up, make an appointment at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or you can always book online at MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Montgomery Men's Health, for every man in every season of life. Mo Brooks on the other side of this break.
You're listening to Joey Clark.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Before you commit to that plumbing repair or upgrade, get a second opinion from Headley Plumbing. Our estimate could save you thousands. We do it all: residential, commercial, and septic tank service, serving the entire river region. No membership, no contract, just fair, reliable service. Call Headley Plumbing at 285-3667 or visit headleyplumbing.com. In our business, a flush beats a full house.
Headley Metal Buildings has been your source for quality metal buildings in the river region since 2007. Carports up to 24 feet wide, RV covers, storage buildings, even a sturdy metal barn up to 54 feet wide. Your structure can be customized, installed on level ground, and comes with a 20-year warranty. Let Headley Metal Buildings help you find the perfect solution. Financing available. Call 285-3667 for details or find Headley Metal Buildings on Facebook.
Congressman Barry Moore has always delivered for Alabama. As a member of the House Freedom Caucus, Barry Moore earned a score of 100 from Heritage Action for protecting our values. He's helped thousands of Alabama families, fought for our veterans as a veteran himself, and secured millions for infrastructure, first responders, and public safety. Barry Moore helped pass Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, delivering tax cuts for hardworking Alabama families, and stood strong to secure our borders. Now, Barry is taking that fight to the United States Senate. Barry Moore will defend our freedoms, defend the Second Amendment, protect our children, stand up for parents, and keep boys out of girls' sports while continuing to cut taxes and lower prices. Endorsed by President Trump, Barry Moore is a proven conservative Alabama can trust.
I'm Congressman Barry Moore. I rolled up my sleeves in Congress, and I'll keep fighting for Alabama in the U.S. Senate. I'm Barry Moore, a conservative fighter, and I approve this message.
Approved and paid for by Barry Moore for U.S. Senate.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back, folks. And without further ado, joining us on the phone now, we have former Congressman Mo Brooks. He's, of course, running for House District 20 here for the Alabama State House. And Mo, great to hear from you and great to talk to you again. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Oh, life is very good. I'm better than I deserve. Now, I want to get right to the issue. Well, first off, why are you running in House District 20? Want to join the Alabama State Legislature, and it looks like you're going up against an incumbent on this race?
Some state officials talked to me, expressed dissatisfaction with the incumbent, shared some insight that was the basis for that dissatisfaction, and they persuaded me that I would be of value in the Alabama legislature.
Beautiful. And let's in particular talk about the amount of out-of-state gambling money that's flowing into these races, whether statewide or like a House district race that you're in. I always kind of assume, well, it's this corrupt PAC system we have, but is it perhaps illegal, some of what's going on?
Well, it is illegal, and if we've got a minute, let me kind of cover what's happening. You've got a $28 million avalanche that is unprecedented in Alabama political history. It's out-of-state and out-of-country gambling moguls who are, quite frankly, trying to buy Alabama legislators, perhaps buy some statewide elected officials, and as a side effect, they are corrupting college and professional athletics while flaunting their noses at Alabama's civil and criminal laws. That $28 million breaks down into two different tracks of money. One track is $2 million from the Sports Betting Alliance, which consists of about 5 or 6 out-of-state gambling moguls. And that money is laundered to the SV&B PAC in Montgomery and the North Alabama PAC up here in Huntsville, and that's $2.15 million. And, of course, the gambling moguls are laundering the money because they don't want the public to know who it is that's behind these large contributions. Now, this Sports Betting Alliance money, at least it's being disclosed. The SV&B PAC out of Montgomery is disclosing it. The North Alabama PAC out of Huntsville is disclosing it. So that appears to be legal, what they're doing, but still $2 million is a huge sum of money. And that huge sum of money pales in comparison to the second track of money, which is $26 million that is being funneled by 3 or 4 out-of-state gambling moguls, and they are laundering it first $41 million to a political action committee that they created called Win for America. Win for America, in turn, launders $26 million to a political action committee that is known as American Conservative Fund. And American Conservative Fund is doing the dirty work for these gambling moguls by assassinating the characters of candidates all across the state of Alabama. They're doing it with mailers, they're doing it with TV ads, they're doing it over the internet, they're doing it with text messages, they're doing it with intrusive telephone bank calling, you name it, they're doing it. You can do a lot with $26 million, and the American Conservative Fund is doing it. The problem with what's happening with the American Conservative Fund money is that it is a criminal violation of Alabama's Fair Campaign Practices Act. Under that act, the American Conservative Fund is required to disclose their revenues and their expenditures on a monthly basis. So there should have been a report filed with the Secretary of State covering the January finances on February the 2nd, covering the February finances on March the 2nd, covering the March finances on April the 2nd. None of those things have been filed as they're supposed to be under the law, so that we, the citizenry, would have a better idea as to who's paying what for these candidates, which in turn gives us an idea of what these candidates stand for and whether we want to elect them. The violations, each and every one of them, is a jail time sentence of up to a year in jail and $2,000 fine. Another violation that in many instances is occurring, the American Conservative Fund is doing this campaign advertising without a proper disclosure of who's behind it. Under the Fair Campaign Practices Act, you're supposed to identify who it is that's paying for these campaign materials, and identification includes things like street name, city, state, address, the things that would help you identify in particular who it is that's paying for these things. And thousands upon thousands, if not tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, by way of example, of the mailers often do not have the proper identification. That's also a criminal offense. And all of these offenses I've talked about, they can be prosecuted by Alabama's Attorney General. They can be prosecuted by district attorneys in the state in areas that are affected. They can be affected, not prosecuted in a criminal sense, they can be affected by the Secretary of State, who can impose fines for each and every violation that has occurred, and these could total up into the millions of dollars because there's so many of them. So that's the problem we've got, and quite frankly, we need law enforcement that will properly investigate this thing and prosecute. I used to be a district attorney in Madison County and an assistant district attorney in Tuscaloosa, and I was a court litigator for over 3 decades, and it's an open and shut case. The Fair Campaign Practices Act is very specific on who has to comply with it. The American Conservative Fund has to comply. It's thumbed its nose at the laws, refuses to comply, and there's damage to our election system as a result. And I hope the Attorney General's office, Secretary of State's office, the district attorneys around the state will very quickly address this situation, because the election now is a little over 4 weeks away.
And it looks like your opponent up there in House District 20 has taken a good bit of money from out-of-state gambling interests, SV&B in particular.
Well, my opponent is being supported by over $500,000 of it. Some of it direct to him in the form of campaign contributions. That's $33,500 that we've been able to itemize so far. But the bulk of it is where the American Conservative Fund has sent out 10, 12 mass mailers to the district. They've got over $200,000 in television time that they've already used or reserved. And then they've got the telephone and internet and all that other stuff. But it totals over $500,000 from out-of-state gambling moguls being used to try to buy the House District 20 legislative seat.
And folks, this is just a taste, by the way, of what these gambling interests, if they actually got their hooks in the state through, passing a constitutional amendment, these sorts of things, I think this sort of action, it goes up even to a different degree, a higher degree, the nth degree. And it's another argument against them having any, it's not even legal in the state, and they're already playing this game. It's crazy.
It is crazy. And we have a long history of gambling moguls of a lesser sort buying legislators that end up getting indicted, or else becoming kingpins and doing it in a lawful way, like Paul Bryant with Green Track and Milton McGregor with Victoryland and other places. And, you get these out-of-state gambling moguls putting this kind of money in, we might as well not have elections. If they're going to be able to get away with this money laundering, let them just go ahead and choose who our governor, lieutenant governor, secretary of state, attorney general, state legislators are going to be, and not fool with the elections, because this kind of money controls it.
Again, folks, we'll be talking to former Congressman Mo Brooks. He's running for House District 20 and for the Alabama State House. And I don't normally, I try to play coy and don't endorse, but I would love to see you down there at the brand new State House as a state representative. I think you would it would be a great asset to all people that want to clean up Goat Hill. And so if folks are listening and maybe want to get the word out or help you in some way, how can they do so?
They can go to friendsofmobrooks.com. They can talk to people who are in Alabama House District 20, which is the Huntsville, East Huntsville, and South Huntsville areas of our community. Of course, they can make a campaign contribution by going to friendsofmobrooks.com. We're being horribly outspent, but I like our chances, even though we're being outspent probably about 10-1 right now.
Well, always great talking to you, sir, and best of luck as this election is right around the corner. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
You too. Again, former Congressman Mo Brooks, and, I like seeing this idea of, okay, I served in federal office for a while, and, Alabama, the Alabama government is corrupt as hell. And it is just, it absolutely is.
You don't
Eddie
have to
Bader.
serve there to know that.
Eddie Bader here in the studio with me. How you doing on this Friday?
Been a busy day, but doing pretty good, man.
Just Maine?
Maine, yeah.
Just, where did you go? How far away? How many miles are you driving?
I had to go to Lounsboro out on River Road. So from my house, it's like an hour and 40. And I think from here is another 40-something. But it was worth it, man. I got to see a good friend of mine. Got to take a look at a listing out there. Beautiful houses. That's the thing. It's right outside of Montgomery, maybe 40 minutes outside Montgomery. But that area of Lounsboro, right on the river, it's mostly undeveloped. Beautiful. Just beautiful, man. Absolutely. But you know what was the best sight I saw? Mm-hmm. I know this is not like, some people ain't going to like this. There's a dead snake in the road, and a buzzard was eating it. I love that. Because I love a dead snake.
It's nature at work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All I could sing when I drove by is a Circle of Life.
Did you start singing?
Circle of Life.
I knew you started singing.
Yeah. I even went by slow, so I don't want to scare the buzzards off. Yep. That's kind of how it felt. So you get it too. But it's that time of year where you start seeing dead snakes in the road, especially if I went by them.
Well, in a second, I've been very serious today because, I mean, crazy, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, and I don't think I've been depressing. I think it's a great day. It looks like Trump's actually landing the plane on this thing with this whole war.
He does right now. Wheels are down. It's looking pretty good right this second.
Right. And when you see like people like Clarence Thomas, who's been notoriously quiet forever, start to speak out.
He's finally had enough. Finally.
Oh, and it makes me think about, like, as we get closer and closer to the 250th birthday of this country, we got to start talking more, just some basic history stuff, some like insights, the language, the beliefs of that founding generation in particular, and that we can punch a higher floor as a nation. And as much as we want money and entertainment and we want to take care of folks and we have all these practical problems in the world to solve, we can still, number one, do great things, and we can still, well, treat our legacy with charity. And I mean the legacy that our forefathers gave us, not just to politics, but our faith. So anyway, there's a lot there, but because it's Friday.
I was thinking more like we're going to party like it's 1776.
Yeah, there's that too. And there were a lot of drunks back then too. So
that's what I figured.
You'd fit right in.
I figured it'd fit right in.
And classy drunks. I mean, functional
No, I
drunks.
don't know. Ben Franklin was really that classy.
No. I wonder how much VD he had after all those French girls.
But wouldn't he be fun to party with?
Yeah.
Or would it be embarrassing? Like one of them guys that's fun to party with, but about 1 or 2 in the morning, you're like, I got to get out of here. This is too much.
No, there are letters from John Adams, who was very puritanical, but there are letters from John Adams to others complaining about the amount of bars in Boston and where there was cross-dressing.
Really?
And and prostitution, and also class mixing and racial mixing, and like it was like
cross-dressing.
No, the Revolutionary period, other than like the top tier guys that did all the talking and the documents and the founding in many ways, the everyday person, there's a lot of drinking. It was crazy, free for all America, and that is kind of our dichotomy. That
have we really changed that much?
No, and also like read the good book, read the Old Testament. As much as you have a Moses or you have a David, you also have your souls of the world. And then you also just have the average ancient Israelite. And when you think about the average American back in our history to this day, we ain't always on the up and up, but we still kind of hope to march in the right direction when we're led in that direction.
Yeah, Joey. But let me go ahead and tell you, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, my friend.
And by the way, I think I discovered a new road to hell, but we're going to have to get to it after the break. But it has to do with cheddar cheese and a witch.
Really?
Indeed it is. A story about a witch and cheddar cheese. You know, of all the ways you could get dragged down to hell, this would be quite a disappointing and delicious way to go.
It's melted cheese, Joey.
Anyway, we have to hit this break. We'll be right back after this.
Listening to Joey Clark.
Joey Clark.
And his old pal, Mr. Bader.
It's
Joey Clark.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting.
April and lock in that 1.99% rate through your October statement. Visit ASC Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
To Joey Clark.
Joey Clark.
And his old pal, Mr. Bader.
It's
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm Joey Clark. This is my old pal, Mr. Bader. Eddie Bader here in the studio.
How you doing, Joey?
Great.
You ready for the weekend?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm ready for the weekend. I'm not going to do anything all that special, but
Well, I noticed, and I haven't given you much grief about it, but you don't do your own lawn anymore. And
no,
as a
I
man
hadn't
of
done
your
that.
age,
I haven't done that in a while.
Right, as a man of your age, I feel like you're kind of
Why should I do that?
the son.
We already sold the lawn equipment.
Jeez, you really went all out.
To the guy who does it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of you, Joey. It's better than me. What I did was I bought a brand new mower a couple of years ago. I think I mowed the grass once that summer and have since just called Oscar and he takes care.
I think I literally have been cursed by wasps.
Oh,
I've killed too many, and it started to get where I don't mind at all. Like, even walking mower, but like especially ride mower is pretty great. Like, listening to a great podcast or a great album, music or something, and getting the lawn done. The thing that I really hated was the more tedious edging. Weed eating. Hedges. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
And
I was
cleaning
like,
all that
I'm
up.
just so over that.
Yep.
And then it just got to the point I'm like, can I just relax on a Saturday? It'd be
There's
nice.
nothing wrong with it. And you're providing employment.
And now relax for me is read a lot and
Yeah.
write a lot.
Now, does
So-
a guy come by and wake you up mowing the grass or anything?
No, they're actually pretty good about it. They usually come in the afternoon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, nice.
Yeah. And, but yeah, I think I was like, I'm done with, especially after the wasp were like,
I get that.
unusually after me.
Now, do you ever see yourself being one of those men that just take care of their lawn over the top? You see you being that guy where you mow it, you seed it, you fertilize it, you mulch it. You see you being that guy ever?
Perhaps if I like properly owned a place and like
Really?
wanted it to be like a putting green, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe.
Interesting.
Like, I don't want to never say never.
Yeah.
Because if I do, then I'll end up that guy.
You end up that guy.
Right.
Yeah, true.
Get
off my lawn.
And speaking on that, I'll never be married. Now, let's get to a particular, I think this is a new route to hell.
Okay.
New road to hell. Jen Billock is her name.
All right.
She is deep into the art, which, I mentioned King Saul from
Yes.
the old Davidic kingdom. Well, actually, that was before David. He really fell in as David was rising up in favor, God's favor, and the Spirit of God left Saul. He got desperate, and he literally goes to a witch
Mhm.
and engages in divinization.
Okay.
I believe to bring back, and you got to wonder, was it actually the prophet Samuel? Was it actually Samuel or a demon pretending to be Samuel? Anyway, it doesn't get better. Like, he ends up, I think, killing himself. The point is, don't mess around with divinization. Don't mess around with witches, even if this witch has an unusual and edible approach to divinization.
Never been a big fan of divinity.
Rather than tarot cards, tea leaves, or open palms, Jen Billock, the witch, reads cheese.
She reads cheese?
One of my first food memories is looking into a cheese cave with my parents and being like, oh my God.
I don't know if she talks that way, but it just seems
A cheese cave?
Yeah, like a cheese. Yeah.
Sorry, this is new to me.
Where they keep like the wheels.
I understand. I just didn't never know that was a cheese cave.
Billock, who is based in Chicago, began reading the Rhine during the pandemic when her work as a travel writer stalled. The travel writer.
You could be a travel writer,
I
Joey.
easily could be a travel writer. Maybe
What are you doing?
Yeah, I
here,
know.
dude?
What am I even doing? But then
During COVID, I Googled weird ways to tell fortunes with food, and I found cheese. And it was the start of this little love affair.
Like, don't know. Like, and it's adorable. It's like, oh, I'm a witch and I divine things by cheese. No, I think you're going to end up with a cheddar demon.
Yeah. Dude, how does she read cheese for the future? The way it crumbles or something?
But before she started reading cheese,
yeah,
hopefully they explain how.
Okay.
She had long studied and practiced tarot reading.
I figured out how to adapt what I was already doing divination-wise into cheese.
She explained that her readings borrow from the framework of a traditional tarot spread. Billick explained that the process of cheese reading, known as tyromancy, which dates back to the 2nd century and ripened to popularity in England during the Middle Ages, to determine whether a criminal was guilty or innocent and to predict the viability of a given harvest season.
Jeez.
See why you needed Christianity?
Yeah.
Is similar to reading tea leaves or coffee grounds, wherein a story unfolds through the shapes and textures that reveal themselves.
You're going to have a crumbly free future, Joey.
That story is then interpreted by this witch who applies it to different realms of life: career, health, home, travel, and relationships.
I will focus solely on the cheese. And then things start coming in as you need to say this, you need to say that, you need to say this.
Yeah. Hell. What do you do? You're hearing voices as you look at cheese?
No.
Whatever I'm hearing in my head is the message. It's always loud and it always knows what it's doing.
We still do lobotomies.
Yeah, maybe the Kennedys weren't that bad.
Say it, dude.
This witch, who offers in-person and online readings, prefers that her clients select their own cheeses.
She's so lazy she want to go get a cheese?
As it fosters a kind of enzyme energy between the selector and the selected. Y'all think this is a joke. Do not go get your life read by the cheese witch.
But what if I go get a slice of Velveeta?
Don't do it.
That's my kind of cheese.
Each person gets 4 pieces of cheese per reading. And the first 3 represent the past, the present, and the future. I read those like a 3-card tarot spread.
Wow.
And apparently the 4th cheese is used to answer a question or resolve a problem.
I got a question for you.
It's always the 4th cheese, Eddie.
You think she's married?
Probably to somebody who goes to the Temple of Satan. For this, oh my God, who wrote this? Who wrote this? No, Rita Weigel. Rita Weigel?
Okay, we'll go with Weigel.
Or Wiggle. Rita got a mini reading. Rita.
No mini reading. Come on.
I'll just play around with the cheese witch who hears voices after looking at the crumbles.
How else is she going to get it?
For my mini reading, writes the New York Post author here, I offered up pieces of Cambozola? I don't even know what that is. And Mashego, excuse me.
Oh.
Manchego.
Still don't know what that is.
Yeah, you were going to go with Velveeta, right?
Velveeta slices.
More cheese whiz. Read this, witch.
Yeah, I'll tell you the off-air cheese.
Yeah, Cambozola and Manchego, stand-ins for the present moment and the future, taking photos of each and sending them to Billock, the witch, ahead of our virtual session. In parallel veins within the soft, funky blue, I guess that's Cambozola or whatever. Like she picked a blue cheese, yeah. The witch noted an enduring soulmate connection and a potential health hiccup. In the Manchego, and in terms of career, she saw me leaving behind a rocky course for a more aligned horizon, reflecting an indent in the cheese that resembled a speedboat moving towards the clean edge of the wedge. Let me read that sentence again. In the Manchego, and in terms of career, she saw me leaving behind a rocky course for a more aligned horizon, reflected in an indent in the cheese that resembled a speedboat moving towards the clean edge of the wedge.
Okay, so let's picture this cheese for a minute. Basically, somebody dropped it. It's got a dent in it, but she took that as a speedboat in the horizon. Yeah.
She added that I would soon be traveling to the mountains and that it was essential that my partner get his blood pressure checked.
Just randomness, man.
Premonitory, but not precious in his power. I was advised to eat the cheese. No, that's how the sacrifice is finished.
Not now.
You are sacrificing your soul to know your future, past and present, and the answers to some pressing question, and you're giving it up to some cheese demon witch. Don't do it. Even for a story for the New York Post, don't do it.
Well, she's a traveling writer.
No, that was the witch used to be.
Oh. Wonder if they were college roommates.
But she was advised to eat the cheese after a reading, and because cheese consumption ain't great for hypertension, I did not share. In the months since my reading, I've planned 2 mountain-centric summer trips. Why is this, by the way, always a lady thing? This is always a women thing. Like, people think it's like cliche or misogynist that it's the snake that whispers to Eve. But why is it? And it's cliche too. How many men do you know go get tarot card readings or palm readings?
All my men friends, I'm going to go with none.
Right. Why is this such a female thing?
I had a couple male friends that dealt with the lady that read cards, but not in that fashion.
In terms of career and health, it remains to be seen whether the mold is accurately foretold. Nice line. While I went top dollar in my selections, Billock assures that cost is not a factor in fromage forecasting, as government cheese is as spiritually legible as caved aged Gruyere. The cheese is just a vehicle. It acts as the connection between the person that I'm reading and me. However, the type of fromage can influence the kind of messaging the witch receives. I get different things from different cheeses. A blue cheese can be very noisy with a lot to see and figure out. It can get distracting, while a Kraft single or a really clean piece of cheddar is more focused. I usually have less to say about those. The message is clear. In addition to cheese, Billock reads tarot and oracle cards, rune and spirit stones, and other foodstuffs.
Foodstuffs?
Yeah. I can read any sort of food, any sort of drink. I've read wedge salads. I've read croissants and beer and wine. If you have to have all your food blended and fed to you through a feeding tube, I can read the blend. Okay, that's creepy.
That's just gross. That's just gross.
She sees reading food as a democratic kind of divination. Food is nourishment. We are ingesting it to help us stay alive, and there is a strong mental, spiritual, and emotional connection to it. Food evokes memory. Food is political. Food is a topic of conversation. It makes sense to me that people connected with it on such a deeper level.
Wouldn't you like to go on a date with this one, Joey?
No, if somebody I was in a relationship with went to the cheese witch, I'm like, we're done.
What if it was a cheese witch herself? What if on your first date, she's like, hey, do you believe in the ability for someone to read cheese?
No, I'm saying, well, if we're going to stick together, we're going to do a rosary in Latin. All right?
She's out. Hey, good for you.
I've been asked, what do you say to people who don't believe, who feel like it's dumb, who don't want to do it in this practice? What's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to learn something, and then you're going to eat cheese. There's no reason not to do it.
Okay, precious.
Anyway.
You're reaping me out a little bit.
That's what I said. People think it's funny. People can think it's like harmless. But don't go to the cheese witch. Don't go to any witch.
That's a good idea.
Turn back to God.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
When your tax refund comes, put it on the floor and walk on it. Revitalize the look and feel of your home with new floors from Prattville Carpet. With faster and better service than the big box stores and luxury vinyl planks starting as low as $4.99 per square foot. You'll enjoy that tax refund turned flooring every single day.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Dial 285-8117 or visit PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Listen to Joey Clark.
Anyway, welcome back. Let's go to the phones and... What? You hung up on him? What? You hung up on him?
He had me rolling.
That's hilarious.
Hey, Michael.
All right.
Hey, Michael. I know. Hold on, bro.
All right. We got him now?
Got him on tree.
All right. Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm great, and I'm glad you were able to reconnect with Eddie after his absence for so long.
Now, I went by and saw him.
I know he brought a hot chicken here, but I couldn't believe that it was him.
yeah, it is hard to believe.
I was going to harass him, but he had some other customers. I believe you were selling them. It looked like a surround sound system, Michael.
Yeah, I did come in there and say hey to you. Though,
yeah, of course you did.
Texted me.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
When you see me with that hot chick.
Like, damn.
So what's the Cohen's experience like today?
Well, there's no Eddie or hot chick, but man, it's been good. I was with Michael Jacks this morning, and we've got some customers that have some strange things going on with their systems. And anyway, we got to the bottom of it between calling the manufacturer of the television and the manufacturer of some what we call little black boxes. So, but anyway, something's going on with their system that they gave us two things to go out there and try. And between both of them, one of them is supposed to work. So we're waiting on the customer to call us back, let us know when we can come.
Very good.
You know, it's nice to have people that want to get to the bottom of the issues so that we can make your television, your home theater, or what aspect of it, make it work the way that it's supposed to.
Well, and folks have great products there at Cohen's on the electronic side or the appliance side, and they're not going to be beat ever on price. But the huge difference is the service,
Right.
including after the sale, and just making sure they get it right. And so if you're looking for that kind of experience, like, 60 plus years here in business, local business family?
Since 57, so I guess almost 69.
Nice, man. That's a milestone. And not only is it generations of family and ownership of Cohen's, but it's also generations of family that have been stopping by to shop because the service makes that big of a difference. They can set you up right. You can always shop online at thinkcohens.com. Or just call them direct at 277-8890 or stop by. That's the best way. 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And find Michael. Bonus points if you bring a hot chick. And be sure to tell him you heard Joey and Eddie, him talking to Joey and Eddie on the radio.
That's right, yeah. Come see us and ask us some questions. Let us ask you some questions, and let us help you make the right choice for whatever your needs are, whether they're appliances or electronics. And we did just get in some really cool bean bags made by a company called Corduroy.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Very cool.
Way cool. We've got two sizes. You can actually, if your kids are in them, you can actually unzip the deal, and one of them becomes a queen-size little mattress.
Oh,
So
wow.
if your kids are spending the night,
Mhm.
2 or 3 of them can sleep on this, and then there's also a full size as well.
Very cool. Well, folks, you got to get by there and try that out. And by the way, as a sponsor of the show, Michael, I've been messing around with like re-imaging the show and like jingles and stuff, like kind of old school radio jingles. Could you give me some feedback on this one that I play here real quick?
Yes, sir.
All right.
You're listening
To Joey Clark
Joey Clark.
and his old pal, Mr. Bader.
It's Joey Clark.
How'd you like that one, Michael?
That's pretty cool. It sounds a little retro.
Yes.
That's all I was going for.
I don't remember whose ad was like that, but I think it's pretty cool.
I dig it.
Yeah, I just had to sneak in his old pal, Mr. Bader.
Well, at least his first name's not Master.
There you go.
There it is.
There you go.
There it
That's
is.
my middle name.
So many old friends.
Oh. Yes. All right. Have a great weekend.
See you, brother.
Thanks, Michael. Have a good one. And, we got to hit this break.
All right. Come back to Soldier Boy.
Yep. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center. This is W.
And they say CPWABD. Yeah, man. Corn Pop was a bad dude. And as you said, there's a whole pile here. Well, there wasn't much demand. I can dig it.
Hunger doesn't always look the way you think, but it's closer than you realize. On Saturday, May 9th, join the Budget Bites battle at the Heart of Alabama Food Bank and turn awareness into action. Teams will go head-to-head, creating a full meal for $5 per person or less in just 60 minutes. Every $1 raise provides 5 meals for neighbors in need. Now we need you. Register your team today at hafb.org. Deadline is May 2nd. Be part of the solution. Cook with purpose. Fight hunger one meal at a time.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Final hour of the program.
I feel like there should be some plaid somewhere with us.
Oh yeah, we got up our game, baby.
Like a dating game. We need some curtains or something back here. Those nice 70s orange curtains.
Well, you need to have that kick on that last.
That's right.
Anyway, welcome back to the
pretty
program.
good, Joey.
No, and I showed you how I made that. And I made it right. But no, I just went into my phone, and then did the prompt. And
when you first started telling me about AI music, I thought it's not going to catch on. It's not going to have the soul. I've got more AI songs in my.
Now you mostly do the joke songs, though.
No. This
you've been
one
listening to
guy.
this
He's a blues singer, and dude, I mean, I know it's AI, but it's just
you like it.
Yes, and every 2 days he puts out a new song, and it's really good.
Let's go to Soldier Boy. Hey, Soldier Boy, how you doing?
Yeah, baby. Hey, my favorite part of that movie is when she says, "Baby, what's your name?" And she goes, "Ivanta Humpala." I know what you want to, baby. I know what you want to do, but what's really your name? Ivanta Humpalot.
My name is Richie Cunningham, and this is my wife, Oprah. Yes.
Oof.
I tell you one thing. I watch Austin Powers, and you can watch reruns, and it's kind of like Airplane. You'll just keep laughing every time you see it.
Yeah, well, if you're a dude, there aren't that many women like Austin Powers for some reason.
Nerds.
Oh man,
I know.
That's a shame. Oh, when you were talking about the cheese, I told Eddie, I said, I want her to read some Limburger cheese for me. Can't you do that?
Yeah, I'm sure she would.
That's some stank cheese. You got a stanky future ahead of you.
That's very noisy cheese, but I still get your soul.
Definitely noisy.
Hey, my neighbors, the ladies in my cul-de-sac are pissed at me. Just the women are.
What'd you do?
Well, I bought some new skill power tools. The edger, the one that does the edging.
Yeah.
And I got the two cycle, of course, because real men don't use electric power tools. First of all, God, I hate electric.
Two-stroke, baby.
And you know what I'm talking about. You wake up the neighborhood, baby. You know how that goes. As soon as 7 o'clock hits, as soon as 7 a.m. hits, it's 7. You ever seen the commercial? He says, I don't want to break the law. He says, but it's 7:01. He says, my homeowner insurance. My HOA says I can't cut grass or do any power tools till 7 o'clock. Well, it's 7:01.
Oh boy,
He's
fired
it up.
Nice.
Fire it up. Well, what happened was they all came over and looked at the edger, and I had a separate trimmer. The separate ones. Don't get the ones that are the combo, because it's like 3 tools in one don't work. That just messes everything up.
Mm-hmm.
So they come over and he said, man, can I try that? Can I borrow that? I said, yeah. I said, go ahead. And we tried it and cut it. Next thing I know, man, the women are coming over and like, what'd you do? What'd you do, Soldier Boy? I go, what do you mean? He says, my husband says he wants this for his birthday. He says he wants this for Christmas. He wants this for Father's Day. I go, what do you mean? I said, don't women like nice kept yards? I thought that they enjoyed that.
Sometimes. But a lot of times they like to see somebody else do it.
Well, and they like to see somebody do it humbly without, the chest puffed
without
out.
the bragging. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, but I got some. I won't say it, but in my cul-de-sac, I have two young ladies, progressive liberals. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to use the certain word. I don't want to be called homophobic. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But they're so progressive liberal. They're out there with a charger on their edger and their weed eater and their lawnmower. It's funny. It's just hilarious.
Electric lawnmower. I've heard of an electric, hedge clipper.
Yeah.
Or
Oh, we had electric lawnmower.
electric drills and stuff, but electric lawnmower.
Oh, they got,
It was awful.
yeah, they got go into Walmart on an Atlanta highway, and every lawnmower up there is electric. They don't have one gas lawnmower for sale. Not one. There's 10 or 15 different type models, but they're all electric.
Yeah. Well,
And now sometimes
electric
that's-
stuff's getting better.
Just the future.
Well, maybe it's my testosterone levels going up too high or something. But I love the sound of two-cycle and the smell of two-cycle. You know what I mean? And there's nothing there. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got two-stroke jet skis. I can smell the burn, baby.
Do they have electric ones yet?
Yeah, they do, but most of them are four strokes, and people like them because they're quiet. But I like a two-stroke. Can't kill it.
Sounds
like
about
to
right.
let people, like to let people know that when you're coming around that curve, right?
Exactly right.
Or something like that.
I couldn't believe that had that boating accident where that a person got killed and they arrested him for having alcohol. He was trying to dump all his alcoholic beverages on the shore. Did you read about that?
I heard about the wreck, and I haven't heard about what caused it or anything. But
Yeah, they said the story says that when the witnesses were there, that he was taking ice chest out and emptying all the beer cans and everything out, trying to get rid of everything. But here's my question: is who drives down there with no lights on a boat at 7:00 at night?
someone that's probably had too much to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just awful.
absolutely. They said they had video of them coming out of the restaurant. They were parked at a bar or a restaurant. They didn't say what the name was, of course. And they saw that they had one too many and got in the boat and everything. Because I have a couple of friends of mine that have jet skis, and we use them at night, but they have the pole light on it and a headlight on the front. And I guess it's required by state law, and if you got any kind of boat with motor at night, has to have a light.
Yeah,
it does. But last time I checked in Alabama, it was illegal to ride jet skis at night, even if they were equipped with lights. You can do
Even
it in
if they're
California and a
equipped
few
with
other states, even Florida, but Alabama.
Even if they have lights?
Yep.
Too small.
Yep.
I mean,
can't be seen.
Yeah, and also, even if you got a light on you, it might even blind the person to where you actually are.
Especially with headlights. You can't even run. Nowadays, you can't run your boat with, you could run your stern and bow light on, but you can't run with the headlights. A lot of people have headlights on their boat, and you get pulled over for that.
Anyway, Soldier Boy, I appreciate the call, man.
Later, dude.
Two-stroking and all sorts of stuff.
I love the smell of a good two-stroke, man.
Yeah. You want to play a game?
For Rizzle?
Yeah, it's like guess that sound.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to play the sound. Now, there is a video clip to this, so don't look at the
All right,
screen.
I won't look at the screen.
Just guess that sound.
Something doing some munching. I don't know. I'd say something eating. Is that a termite?
Something eating?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of flapping.
Maybe he's flapping. I don't know. What was it?
You don't know? Oh, okay. Well, let's do the big reveal. Yeah. It is a humanoid robot.
Yes.
A Polish robot named Edward chases wild boars through the streets of Warsaw, Poland.
I seen that. I sent it to Byron last night.
And then he waves goodbye to him right here at the
That's
end.
the funniest part. He just wanted to be friends. Maybe he just wanted to pet them.
The future.
I don't know, but okay, a robot that small.
Mm-hmm.
When it gets on your nerves, you're just going to pick it up and fling it aside. I mean, I don't think it could be very threatening. Am I wrong there?
Well, it might be pretty strong.
You can still pick it up. I don't care how strong it is. I mean,
Yeah, and it's not going to fight back, or at least shouldn't be programmed to.
lawsuit.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's go to line 2.
All
You're
right.
on the air. Who's this?
Hey, it's J. Tom.
Hey, J. Tom.
Hey, I heard y'all talking about mowers, and I bought me a electric Ego.
Yeah.
After I researched them all, and I cut 4 lawns. I used to cut lawns professionally, but I gave my big mower away to my brother-in-law. He always kept it up anyway. But the Ego will snap you out of you. It'll snatch you out of your boots. Yeah, it's got 6 speeds. It'll show snatching. I got my old Toro figured out.
Yeah.
And I tried to keep it because it really mulches well. And the Ego will mulch all bags. So, and the bagging's real good on the Ego. That's and the battery charges up in 45 minutes.
Oh, right. That's pretty good.
So worth the money, you would say?
Ego.
Yeah, worth the money?
They got them at Ace Hardware.
Nice.
And they had $100 off.
Ooh, there you go.
You know, I was raised in Highland Gardens, so I'm tight.
Understand. Well, this is how much I hated mowing grass in Highland Gardens and everywhere else I ever lived. We used to have, of course, the lawnmower, but I'd put water in it. And I tell you, Dad, lawnmower won't run, Dad. I don't know what's the deal. So finally, he bought an electric lawnmower with like 150 foot of cable. So I started running over the cable. Hey, I don't know what's wrong with the lawnmower, Dad.
This thing don't make much noise.
No, they don't make hardly any noise. Really, you just hear the blade spinning, I think.
Oh, I bought a Ryobi edger. Just the edger, not no combo thing. And it does real well. So I'm down to a blower and a weed eater and gas powered. But
there you go.
I like the combination.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that and that product placement there. Thank you, J. Tom.
Yeah. And it's good talking to Eddie.
Good talking to you, J. Tom. See you, brother.
272-9228. If you want to keep talking about lawnmowers, folks, 334-272-9228.
I don't have good lawnmower stories. I never was a big fan of it.
Yeah, you're not a big fan.
I hated mowing the grass.
Yeah.
To the point my dad spent thousands of dollars on repairing that stupid lawnmower because I'd put gas in it. Or one time I took the spark plug out, put a rock down the cylinder, put the spark plug back in. He knew how much I hated it, but he would never let me know that he knew.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just the ongoing peeing contest.
Anyway, this part of the program.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. They're ready to help you out whether you're looking to buy a place.
Yes, they are, Joey.
Looking for that home purchase, especially if you're a first-time home buyer.
They are some of the best.
They will help you greatly.
Yes.
You can trust them, and they're going to get you the best possible deal. And they can walk with you every step of the way. Pre-approval, and then there's closing day, and you've got inspections, and you've got appraisals.
That's your killer right there, that appraisal.
All right. So if you're looking to be guided by some pros when it comes to mortgages, Alabama Home Mortgage can help you out. Could be you're looking for money, though.
Yes.
And you want to get debt off your back.
Or you want to cash out investment.
Yeah. You want to invest in your property or your family, or you want to go on that big trip you always been talking about, dreaming about. Well, why not do a great refinance deal with Alabama Home Mortgage? It can help you out in that way. And you could be like a Bitcoin maxi. You've been listening to too much Michael Saylor, and you're like, honey, we're doing a refinance. But it's up to you. It's your goals. And let Alabama Home Mortgage guide you in the right way. Just call them up. Start the conversation today at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. How about this? Let's hit a break. We'll come back and figure out something to talk about. It looks like Governor Ivey signed the no candy or soft drinks on your SNAP program thing.
Also the overtime deal, Joey.
Oh, yeah. A more limited overtime tax cut.
So for 1 week, you will not have to pay tax on your overtime.
And just to bring it full circle, the guy Moberg is running against, he was allowed to co-sponsor or sponsor that particular overtime tax cut. So you can, take credit for cutting taxes, right?
Okay, but
we cut taxes responsibly, which means less money
in your pocket.
More money to the government.
Yes.
Or something like that. Anyway, we'll be right back.
You're listening
To Joey Clark.
Joey Clark.
It's
Joey Clark.
He may not know whether he's coming or going. But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the River region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of health care you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients, from making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly to getting to know you and your family's needs and following up on any questions you may have. Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles, drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet Arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Welcome back. And we've got a story out of Washington State.
Okay.
Now, this is wrong, and it shouldn't happen.
Okay.
But I have a feeling there are a lot of high school boys who don't feel that way about this.
Okay.
Perhaps grown men as well. A Washington State high school teacher is under fire after flashing topless photos to stun students during a classroom presentation, according to the principal.
Oh.
So somebody couldn't keep their mouth shut. The unidentified teacher at Glacier Peak, apt name, high school in Snohomish, Snohomish.
Sounds good to me.
Exposed 4 explicit images of a woman's bare breast while giving a PowerPoint presentation to students on Wednesday. A disturbing blunder that Principal Alicia Mitchell branded an accident in a letter sent home to parents. Wait, how do you accidentally put nudes in your PowerPoint presentation?
Oh, you get your files mixed up?
You should have those clearly labeled number 1.
It never happened in college? Like while you're in college, somebody's giving a presentation and something odd come up?
Nothing like that happened. No Fight Club type splicing, anything
Really?
like that. Yeah, I never ran into that issue.
You didn't take the fun classes.
What classes did you take?
Admin 101, Small Business 101, Drafting.
That sounds so fun. Drafting. Huh?
It made you it's off.
You got to learn how to draw. It's like, I don't know how
no
to, and I don't want
on doing it.
We want to make you aware of an incident in a classroom where inappropriate images were inadvertently shared with the students.
How old were the kids, though? How old were the kids?
High school. So,
come on.
It is our understanding that these images have since been viewed by many others beyond the classroom and want to give you the opportunity to process with your student, if you choose to do so. The content included images of nude breasts and were briefly visible during the teacher's PowerPoint presentation. She said the troubling mistake, which is under investigation, is not a reflection of the school's expectations for classroom materials.
What were they studying?
No kidding. Thanks.
Well, what were they studying?
Mitchell did not name the teacher or offer further details. Seattle radio host Jason Rantz, that's a great name for a radio host, said he was sent the shocking presentation, which allegedly featured the 4 images of exposed bosoms displayed in small preview-style boxes on one of the slides. He said the layout made the pics appear like the previews of photos from a folder. It's unclear if the photos were of the teacher or another individual. It's also unknown if the educator has been suspended amid the probe. As this is a personnel matter currently under investigation, we're unable to provide additional details or comment further, a school spokesman told
We ain't going to tell you nothing.
The New York Post. We take this matter seriously and are following established processes to review the situation and determine next steps. Are you required to talk like a dope? Like a just complete
Apparently.
dork once you become an administrator at a school? Like you can't just speak plainly?
Because that leads to lawsuits.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it's ridiculous, but yeah. Imagine if she didn't do it on purpose. Imagine if she's just humiliated at this point. I feel bad for her, but
yeah.
If I was one of her students, I'm sorry, but I'd be laughing my butt off right now.
Well, like perhaps if you're a teacher of children, don't take naked photos or have them on any of your devices. Maybe go old school, do Polaroids, or maybe just don't do it.
What world are you living in? I think that's the whole reason they invented these phones now, so people could take naked pictures of themselves.
I'm trying to escape that world, Eddie.
Oh, well, in that case, yeah, good luck.
Yeah. Now, but what would make you happier? Like you got just a random text or photo because what? There's like millions and billions and quadrillions of them on the internet. Photos of those things.
Yeah.
Or if like you went into your work locker one day and there was a tasteful Polaroid, which would make you like feel more special. Both
Honestly,
should probably make you feel a little dirty.
Well, okay, it's dirty, but let's say, somebody that we had a special relationship and all was good there. I would go with the Polaroid.
Yeah.
Because I know the Polaroid is just for me.
Yep.
If you get the phone picture, they can go to 10,000 people.
Right.
That's so special. Plus.
Well, you got to wonder how many Polaroids did she take?
Well, that's another thing with the Polaroid. It's true. There's no constricting of it.
Right. You can't filter the Polaroid.
Exactly. The hair I see is the hair I see. Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway, just wanted to bring that important story to y'all.
Why did again, Polaroids went away because of the phone camera.
Yep, they did. We got too many photos now.
Oh, good Lord, do we ever? And I'm just as bad. I don't take the nudie ones, but I take photos of so much.
No, but I really do think things are going off the rails. Like the whole transgender thing, people feel like, oh, we've put that back on the back burner. Like Trump won running on that, and we're getting the men out of the women's sports, and it's all changing stuff.
Surely, but
if you go to some of these blue states, it's still on,
very
baby.
prevalent. Yeah.
And that's just one example. Did you see, I didn't have a video, did you see the videos, two gay guys that are supposedly married,
Mhm.
and they have this baby they got through surrogacy,
Okay.
little infant baby boy, and they're like, which dad do you want? They're like bouncing him, just playing with him, like, which dad do you, and he keeps going, mama, and they're like, there is no mama, and he starts bawling his eyes out. Like, that's...
Why would you put that out?
That's horrific. Horrific. Hurts my heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, like, there's going to be example after example. Don't always make headlines. And don't get me started on, like, you know, straight folks that can't hold a marriage together. Then, you know.
Easy, Joey.
Oh, I get it. But I'm saying, what's happened? And I think I always talk about like this. We need to, with charity, take back our legacy.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, I don't think people understand how far down the rabbit hole you can go.
I don't think people know how far we've already gone down that rabbit hole.
Right.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
And so, you know, this historian, he does a podcast and stuff, Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Now, he still insists he doesn't believe.
Yeah.
But he wrote this whole book about how everything in the West is based on Christianity
Right.
and all our values, all our morals. And the way he talks is like he believes, but he's still this like snooty British guy. He's like, I don't actually, you know, it's
Trying to do the middle of the road.
Mm-hmm. He'll get there. Or
I'm sure.
Maybe he won't. But
I figure he'll get there.
maybe he'll heat up more than he'll cool off in his lukewarmness. But he was at some big fancy thing, but he talks about like how weird monogamous marriage is in the timeline of all of human history and other societies, and how it is a product of, well, it's kind of his shtick, Christianity. Let's listen into some of this.
And I also think the understanding of sex and gender is very, very distinctive, again, in a way that we tend not to see in the West, because the idea that the ideal form of a human relationship is a man and a woman living in a lifelong monogamous relationship, which has been the basis for relations between the sexes, you know, throughout Christian history. I mean, this is a very odd way of organizing your life. So there were Muslims in the early Middle Ages looking at how Christians lived their lives. You know, the form of marriage practiced by Christians who said, this is insane, it's impossible, how can anyone do this? And likewise, Jews adopt it because in Europe, because they're picking it up from the Christian model.
So you're referring to Ephesians 5, I suppose.
Yeah, but I think it's Paul's idea that, you know, it's better to marry than to burn. If you can't live without sex, then you need to have marriage. And the model that he sees is Christ's relationship to the church. So the man is Christ and the church is the woman. And that obviously imposes enormous demands on men and women within a marriage. You know, if you're, you know, he's writing to Roman householders, to male Roman householders who are absolutely in the habit of using their dependents any way that they like sexually. And he's writing to them and saying, well, you can't do that because you're Christ. And Christ doesn't go around, you know, raping the scullery maid or the page boy. And the demands that this imposes on Christians by the standards of the classical past is very, very intense. And in the long run, this idea that the relationship of a man and a woman should properly resemble the relationship of Christ and the church also serves to break the power of clans, which again have basically been taken for granted in pretty much every human culture. The idea that a family isn't to be defined as a man and a woman and their children, but the far kind of broader community of cousins and uncles and so on, and that a clan leader has the right to say who in his clan should marry who. You know, you keep it in the family. This is something that the Roman Church in the Middle Ages is incredibly hostile to. It comes to define incest as being within kind of 7 degrees. And the reason for that is basically that if the relationship of a man and a woman is that between Christ and the church, then it's up to the man and the woman to choose each other. So in a sense, it's Paul's teachings that give birth to the ideal of romantic love, the idea that a man and a woman should choose to live with one another rather than having their relationship chosen for them by a kind of clan leader.
And It is kind of crazy. Like, if you just think about it for a second, all that stuff you described that Christianity changed, is it making a comeback?
It is.
Yep.
Definitely making a comeback.
Definitely. And now I think there's still sort of the idyllic, but one man, one woman marriage that lasts your whole life. And,
Yeah.
And I think that is still a sentiment that's out there. But unfortunately, I think it's often hanging by a thread of just individual whim. And it's not based in, as he kept saying, as Christ loves the church. I think there is a lot of that, to where the foundations, it's hard. Even if you got that foundation, it's going to be difficult. No doubt. But that's when you most need that foundation. The promise is not that things will be hunky-dory and no problems will ever exist. It'll be like, no, in fact, we know we're probably going to suffer. Right. We know we're going to have problems. But because we know of the greater glory ahead, I mean, it's pretty harsh it's better to burn, or better to be married than to burn. And when's the last time you heard folks, unless you literally went to like a nun, talking about the virtue of chastity? Oof. Like just in the broader culture. I mean, the one term we've heard about is incels. Like it's a put down, involuntarily celibate. But this idea of actually saving yourself. Now, there are studies that show the younger generations are they're not dirty dogs like boomers or Gen Xers by any means.
Yeah, y'all send nude pictures out of each other. We didn't do that.
Yeah, but it's creating this weird dynamic of more alienation in that regard, as well as just normal social relationships as well. But it's just like, because we don't know history, because we don't know the legacy and how radical and revolutionary that Christian legacy in particular is, the revolution that Christ commenced, I think we are backsliding into stuff that initially it's just like, well, I just kind of want to love, man. And it's just freedom, man. And like, I don't even think necessarily the intent for most folks is all that bad. They intend all sorts of things that are good. But you lose that foundation, watch out at where you can end up. And it's just like, it is a sort of rise, and there are we'll add to this, actively forces that love to garb themselves in the idea of like taking care of the least of these and like Christian language, and yet they are actively trying to destroy things like the nuclear family, actively trying to destroy the idea of a properly ordered conscience when it comes to sexuality. And like it's in your face. They're maybe proud about it.
Yep.
But anyway, this guy keeps going. I think it's fascinating.
Put this in contrast with how woman was viewed in the Roman society.
Well, it's not specific. So for us, because of Christianity, I mean, I think every society has had an idea of binaries that, in sex, there are kind of, there are two roles that people have to play to have sex. And for us, it's based on gender. It's based on the idea of there being men and women. And that's, again, an inheritance ultimately from Genesis, God creating men and women separate. But for the Romans, that wasn't the case. For the Romans, the binary was between the male Roman citizen and everybody else. And the male Roman citizen could do what he liked to everybody else. I mean, so people within his family, his wife and his children, if you attacked them, that was an offense. That was what the Romans called stuprum. It was a terrible sexual offense. It was criminal. But everyone else, you could do what you like with. So, you're a Roman slave owner. You can do what you like to your slaves sexually. It doesn't matter what the gender of the slave is. It doesn't matter what the age is. You can just treat them as you want. And of course, Christianity radically changes that. And if you are, say, a scullery maid in a Roman household, a bit like a Yazidi girl in an ISIS household, there's nothing to stop you being raped every day. Nothing to stop you. No legal power. I mean, no sense of moral disapproval at all. And so you can imagine the radical effect of getting a letter from Paul and being told you are like the church. It's utterly transformative.
Well, and a lot of people when he first presented thought he was crazy.
Yeah.
But again, you think, well, it's not happening in my little bedroom community. It's not happening in the suburbs. But number one, are you so sure about that? Number two, even though it's not happening in your backyard necessarily, You doesn't have to be the Yazidis in the middle of Mesopotamia
Right.
with ISIS running things. Like, think about, Katie Britt was mocked when she gave her State of the Union response. Maybe it was being in the kitchen and too rehearsed or something. But the point she made in that speech about the trafficking across the border, the points that have been made, we've talked to Jared Hudson, who's running for Senate, about, his job.
Yeah.
Trying to stop folks in that child trafficking world. And it's not just children. And it's much more pervasive than we would believe. And then you look at like all the Epstein stuff and how weird everybody in power is acting about it.
What did I tell you?
Yeah. You think all this stuff's in the past, and was it ever perfect? No. But I think there was a time where it was even more in the shadows where it should be, if it's going to exist at all. And you're starting to see more and more folks walk out of the shadows. And I think that's what the Epstein thing is. It is the revealing of the method.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? And it makes the average person, thank God, because of our Christian sensibility. And I would hope it's more than sensibility. It's a deeply held faith that makes you just, you're revolted. Like you want to stop this with everything you can. But then it becomes this political football. It becomes twisted and all this other stuff. So you're left with, I'm revolted. This is pure evil, but powerlessness. And it's just, it's a very, very worrisome thing. That said, if again, people return to faith, and I don't just mean saying words, like you start embodying it and you find the rhythms of faith, like you might be amazed if you find a good, tight-knit community. Though, don't get me wrong. That's a number one attack vector. Sometimes can be a church community as well for dark forces. Anyway, I just thought that was fascinating. The whole British atheist, secular historian actually making the argument that it's St. Paul, it's Paul the Apostle, who we should thank for things like monogamous marriage and actually genuine voluntary romantic love and so many other institutions that, thank God, are surviving, but maybe not how they used to if you just look at the data. Anyway, we got to hit a break. We'll be right back after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
Lunch should be comforting and done right. At Epicure and Jack's Tavern, their meat and three is scratch made to order, not scooped from a steam table. Real cooking, real portions. And for guests 60 and over, it's just $10.99. It's familiar food, elevated, served with care. Lunch at Epicure and Jack's Tavern. Classic Southern comfort, a step above the rest.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Well, hi, everybody. Still high and dry for now, but big changes over the weekend. Tonight, mostly clear, comfortable. Overnight low temperature down to about 61. A good bit of sunshine mixed in with some clouds tomorrow, Saturday, with a high in the upper 80s. I think we're dry through Saturday evening if you have plans, but in the overnight hours, Saturday night into Sunday morning, scattered showers and thunderstorms out ahead of a cold front. And then behind that front, much cooler on Sunday with a high temperature only up to about 72 and down to the 40s on Sunday night. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Del Rey to Publix.
When it's time to replace an old window or door, you want expert craftsmanship and proven experience. You want Davis Door and Sash. Right now, take advantage of our limited time promotion. 10% off materials on new energy-efficient doors and windows. Voted best in the River region for windows and installation in 2024 and 25. Davis Door and Sash would love to work for you. Call 334-288-6010 or visit davisdoorandsashalabama.com. Davis Door and Sash, the perfect fit for your home.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Live local talk, the River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Listening
To Joey Clark.
Joey Clark.
And his old pal, Mr. Bader.
It's Joey Clark.
Welcome back.
Old pal?
His old pal, Mr. Bader. That seemed to have the right ring to it. Let's go to Ray Bowles with Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how are you?
How you doing, Ray?
Man, I wish you could see our warehouse. I blame this mess on y'all.
Oh?
No.
There's pallets everywhere. You can't hardly move around. I'm having to re-shift here and there. It's just because we're so busy. And a lot of it's y'all's fault because this is one of the best places we advertise, hands down.
Amen. Thank you, Ray.
Unless you're a flooring store, we have nothing back here.
Exactly. Exactly.
We're doing no work whatsoever. Don't know how we're going to survive. But I have to say, honestly, we are super busy, and I really am grateful for all of our customers and everybody that's needing a floor, willing to come down and see us and let us give them a quote. And next thing you know, you got a floor down. So if you're in the market for a floor, there's a reason we're this busy. Why don't you come to Prattville? It's worth your time. You're going to save some money. You're going to deal with some really, really good people all the way through. And then, boom, you got a new floor down, and everybody's happy.
Sounds like a plan to me.
285-8117. Is that still the number?
And, hey, y'all have a great weekend.
Appreciate you, Ray.
Love you, brother.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
See you, man.
And that's 285-8117 there, Prattville Carpet. Happy to be blamed for them being really
that's a good
busy.
thing. And he said he was having a struggle when I talked to him on the phone that there's a truck coming in and unloading it. And I said, where's everybody at? And he just kind of laughed. So I'm guessing they bailed out on him.
A couple things. Governor Ivey signed the bill excluding soda and candy from SNAP purchases. No more candy for you.
Okay. Now, when I worked for the IC Corporation, that was the whole reason that company bought this district out. I don't know if that was in there. I know it was specific, but I don't know if that's a candy, a soda, or if that's something else, like a novelty ice cream thing. I wonder.
Well, sugar, if I had a pocket veto power, I'd include Werther's.
What's wrong with the Werther's?
Still candy. It'll still rot your teeth.
This is true. But you don't have to worry about the youth, I think.
Just old people like Werther's.
Yeah, no, I don't think you got to worry about the youth.
I do love the line from Mark Norman that, Werther's the Amber Alert of candy. Yeah. Gotta love that guy.
Yeah, I like that.
Anyway, let's
like that.
let's go to Crawdad. Hey, Crawdad, how you doing?
What up, Crawdaddy?
Hey, man, I'm totally with doing away with this stuff that you're giving to kids, sugar on top of sugar and then some more sugar. That's not nutrition.
Not at all.
I'm very happy they finally got around to doing something with that, because anybody who's opposed to it, they're thinking, well, we're going to lose money with Hershey stock and M&M stock and all that. you follow the money. They don't care about the kids. They
That's
don't
right.
care about. Makes me very upset. But you guys probably remember when we were at the public schools, they had something that was a meat product. It had a little bit of meat. It also had a lot of soy in it and some taco seasoning, and you dumped that on top of the Cheetos.
Yep.
We loved that stuff, and we didn't die.
No.
The other thing about that could be, I hope, is, and I can't remember, was it Hall Brothers or Barber's milk that we got at school?
Hall's Brothers.
Okay. That's good stuff.
It was.
So,
They did the grape juice and the fruit juice too. Yep.
yes, sir. And if you got the breakfast in the morning, you could go back and get seconds, because breakfast is the most important meal of your day, especially for little minds not falling asleep before lunch.
And when the office attendant left the milk carton crate unlocked, we got second
I didn't know
chocolate
about
milk on Fridays all the time. Yeah.
Was you? Oh, okay. Thanks, guys. Y'all
Thank you,
Appreciate the
Crawdad.
Crawdad. 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. See, there's a new Street Fighter movie coming out.
No, I see there's
Live
a
action?
Flockers movie coming out.
New what?
Flockers.
What's that?
You know, the Flockers with Ben Stiller and that old man I can't stand.
I think it's Fock.
Sure.
Yeah, not there's no L in there, but you
That's
got to
how
be
I keep-
careful in how you say it.
Yeah, that's how I keep from saying anything wrong. I throw the L in there.
Yeah.
Someone
I like to
me, that's a
dance
good
on the
idea.
line
No,
sometimes.
someone like me, that's smart.
Yeah. I'm just checking to see if anything's trending here. Well, one thing I do have to say
Yeah.
is because I keep seeing a lot of the anti stuff and people sending it to me. I love the Pope. I think
Yeah.
Pope Leo the 14th is
You
great.
like the guy, huh?
I like him a lot. Yeah. It's interesting how like a lot of stuff he says doesn't reach American shores, and it's selectively.
Oh, you
like,
noticed that?
Yeah. But I love the Pope.
Well, good.
Pray for him all the time.
Well, good.
Every morning, in fact.
That's a good thing,
And
Joe.
pray for the Archbishop here in Mobile and all the clergy, but also everybody else too. I pray for the president. And
You pray for your enemies, Joey?
absolutely.
Good.
I've learned to do that, or else that gets inside you.
It hurts, don't it, if you don't?
Mhm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And it's an old trick I learned that sometimes you're like, I don't want to pray for my enemies. I'm like, well, be careful when you look in the mirror.
Ooh, Joe.
But no, I just love the Pope. I think
That's
the Pope's
good.
great.
That's good.
I've just noticed a lot of anti-Pope stuff, and I'm like, well, I guess I have to come out as the papist that I am.
Easy target, though. It's
Mhm.
Pope.
Mhm.
It's easy target. It's
Yeah.
Pope.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hi, this is Miss Connie.
Hey, Connie.
Hey, Yanni.
Hey, I know there's not much time, but I just got to say the thing about marriage, sometimes divorce is necessary, and I understand that. I'm not, and the Bible doesn't say He hates divorce, but He hates the circumstances that cause that divorce, not that you are not in His favor anymore.
Right.
Okay. But I got to say this. My husband and I are turning 80 this year. We've been married 60 years.
Congratulations.
And there is we've been through our battles.
Mhm.
We almost got divorced. We've been through hard times and good times. But when you reach our age and there's this person with you and you've been through all this crap and you've hung in there and you've committed to each other, okay? There's a comfort and a peace at our age now.
Amen.
To sit here, and we have fought these battles together, and here we are.
That's awesome.
God bless you, Connie, for calling up and saying that.
So, and if you look at other older couples that 20, 30, 40 years, and listen, it could be a second or third marriage if these people have now been married 20 or 30 years, okay? But when you reach the end with that person, I don't know, there's a peace, there's a comfort. It's worth it.
I got you.
Amen. Appreciate you,
That's
Connie.
great. Thank you, Connie.
Bye-bye.
Go to line two. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Sam. I just want to say the whole thing with the SNAP. I think it's KIV trying to keep me from having my little gummy edibles. I think that's what this is all about. It's a double insult and getting flat to the face. I've got to go out and pick. Come on, man, my Pop-Tart, frosted or unfrosted? What can I get?
You should stop eating a whole box at midnight, by the way. That's not good for you.
Oh, it's so true.
You're definitely going to get the diabetes. Your foot's going to fall off.
Right. Oh, God, man. It's awful. I have let myself swell up. I've got to starve for like a month. It's terrible. But hats off. My parents, Mom's gone through a rough spot. Just watching her and Dad be there for each other and whatnot. It says a lot, but it's something like I'm glad I got to witness in my life.
Amen, bro.
All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Sammy.
Right,
See you, brother.
Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
This is your favorite President Trump. I know I've called in today already, but you were talking about praying for your enemies. I pray for mine too. I pray they burn in hell. I just want you to know that you can say all kinds of prayers.
Of course. Yeah, it's just classic Trump. And by the way, Trump did say that he's like, look, I disagree with the Pope, but I like the Pope. I like his brother. I like the Pope. He can say whatever he wants. It sounds like JD and Marco talk to him. He's like, but the Pope's wrong what about the 42,000 people that are on? I'm like, the Pope's talking about that. Dadgummit, guys. What's with all this anti-Pope stuff more than usual? Anyway.
He is a social media beast from Chicago, though.
Oh, no doubt.
Anyway, all right, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right, man.
Anyway, did you get a thing in the mail?
What?
I got back. I think a lot of people got them. I got the 7-Day Adventist book in the mail.
Oh, no. I live in Titus, man.
It was like some prophecy from the late 1800s. They don't show up in Titus.
They don't come around up there. All right. We tolerate the Mormons, but that's about it.
Yeah, the Mormons are sweet.
They're very nice. That's why we tolerate them.
Heretical, but
Plus,
sweet.
They finally started locking up their bikes.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, the Mormons didn't lock up their bikes, and my friends would steal their bikes all the time.
And by the way, back when I was smoking dope and living on Zelda Road, I would, we get DoorDash a lot.
Yeah.
And one point the Mormons,
Oh,
but the Mormons came out. I was just outside waiting on food, and they go, I think somebody around here smoking weed. I'm like, we need to get to the bottom of this right now.
Let's get to the bottom of this bowl right now.
I was so depraved and wrong.
Oh, you brought them interesting conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, they were trying to sell me, and I told them about a fantasy book series I read as a child. Ever read Pawn of Prophecy by David Eddings? No, I haven't. It's like, okay. Anyway, that was kind of an a-hole. But they're very sweet people.
Yeah, they are.
I've never met a Mormon I didn't like.
I've never met a rude Mormon by no means.
No. Anyway, met plenty of rude Catholics. I see one in the mirror all the time.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Tyler Robinson, the man accused of the murder of Charlie Kirk, is seeking to ban cameras from his courtroom proceedings, arguing that live broadcasts are jeopardizing his right to a fair trial. In Provo, Utah, his